Yo, what's up, War Eagle family? We are live. Man. All right, wait a minute before I get into it. Formalities. War Report here. Twitter and Instagram is at the War Report. We've been live tweeting throughout the game. Make sure you are tuning in over there. If you're on YouTube right now, click like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you want to hear more great content about Auburn football. I don't know if we have any great content to give you right now other than frustration, but thoughts on the first half, Mike G. I will let you start because I've got it.
Oh man. Well, first of all, I don't even know what our offensive game plan is for this game. Like, what is
Throw
the
the
game
ball
plan?
way too much, which
Yeah,
is terrible.
yeah. Like we didn't. I think I saw it on Twitter. A lot of people noticed. Like we noticed. Like, where's Whitlow?
Yeah,
He's got
hasn't
one
touched the
carry this half, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
ridiculous.
got one carry on the half. There's no commitment to running the ball. The first couple plays after the interception, I didn't. I mean, I thought there was no aggressive push to kind of get. I think they thought they were just going to run over Minnesota, like
Yep.
getting too cute with the jet sweeps. Like I'm a little stunned that looks like we moved backwards, right? Like. Uh, I mean, after the win we had against Bama, this showing is it's disappointing, but it's not unexpected.
Yeah.
So I can't really, I'm not really, I can't say I'm putting any of this on Bo. I just don't see
Jay
where.
Johnson hates the jet sweep. He hates Wildcat. You just hate all of Gus Malzahn's offensive concepts, apparently, Jay.
Yeah,
Uh,
all right. Yeah, I'm with him though. I don't like
no,
the jet. I'm not a big jet sweep fan. Like
I don't dislike it. I just think that we don't employ it well. It's not going to work if we don't have good blocking on the outside. I
yeah,
mentioned this in our private chat that we have that Sal Cannella is a bad to terrible blocker on the edge. He just doesn't seal anything on the edge, which is why I think he doesn't play as much. He's
right,
got great hands. He's got good ball skills. But he just doesn't get enough shots in this offense just because he's not giving effort on plays that aren't designed to go to him. And
right.
that's just not the kind of effort that you want to see from your guys out there. We've shown no commitment to being able to run the ball. And even when we've tried to run the ball, the offensive line is. I know I said I was going to let you go, but I said I had so much to say, and I'm just
No,
like
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
vomiting out everything here. But we're getting beat up on both sides of the ball in the trenches. They are effectively taking Derek Brown out of the majority of this game by double teaming him on pretty much every play. But it seems as if Derek Brown and Davidson are on like a controlled snap count because they're rotating them way more than they typically would in the
Right.
game.
Yeah,
Um,
he's on the sidelines quite a bit.
yeah, and I think that
For
that's
Barnes.
I think that's the them saying, okay, we appreciate you wanting to play, but we're going to limit the amount of snaps that you get.
Right, but okay, so here's my deal. That didn't have anything to do with this 110 yards of total
No, it
offense
doesn't.
we got in the first half, right?
Yeah,
Like I tweeted like near the end of the first quarter, like that kickoff return for a touchdown, while outstanding,
meant
puts
our
the
defense go
defense
right
right
back on the
back
field.
on the field.
Yeah,
And again, they could not sustain any drives, like and I think again what you're seeing is you're seeing classic offense wears the defense down. The muffed punt by Tut, which is just stupid. Like, I mean, that's a dumb.
yeah,
I mean, that's up there with the Ohio State guy running into the punter.
yeah.
That
It was
play almost
completely
made it.
unnecessary. It's not character. Honestly, Tut's just not having a great game altogether. Like I don't know where his head is this game, but I haven't. He had maybe one pass defense, but that was like not a great throw.
Right.
He's just not. He's not affecting this game very much. You normally see him coming up and making tackles on some of those wide sweeps that they're doing. You're just not seeing him make an impact on this game like he normally would. And then that muffed punt, it's super uncharacteristic for him, man.
Well, their D line is beating our O line, like plain and simple. And
Mhm.
credit to Bo Nix for the couple plays that he made, kind of getting out of the pocket and finding Spencer Nye
Yeah,
for a big first down there, and then finding Sal Cannella down the field. I mean, he almost overthrew Sal.
yeah, which is
uh,
difficult to do. He's a pretty tall guy.
right, but It was not as easy as a throw. I mean, he had to throw the ball back across his body, kind of moving toward the out of bounds on the right side
Yeah.
of the field there. So like, I just I'm just what was the game plan here? Like your
I
starting
think,
running back,
yeah, go ahead.
your starting running back didn't touch the ball in the first quarter, and I'm like, yo, I mean, I wasn't aware of any disciplinary issues going in. Uh, they did try to get the ball to Schwartz, but the play calling has made offensive flow difficult. So, I'm just wondering what we're watching. Like
I honestly think that they thought that they were going to come out here and be more physical, and so their game plan was like, we're going to go beat these guys up. Let's just go show them what SEC football is about. And there was no, all right, this is what we typically see from Minnesota types. Number one, they do have a different offensive coordinator, but they're running a lot of the same concepts they normally run. You can tell
right.
that they came prepared for those concepts, and Minnesota's just being more physical. That's just there's nothing fancy going on that they're doing. They are being more physical at the point of attack. They're double teaming and taking whoever's at the nose down, whether that's Quintus Miller or Derek Brown. They're double teaming down on the nose to make sure that they're not getting too much penetration up the middle. They're doing a little bit of holding on the edges. So for some of those long plays that they had, the screenplay was an obvious hold on Noah. There was an obvious hold out there on the edge. I forgot who the rusher was on one of the other plays.
He had him on a shoulder pad, and like literally the guy was reaching up.
Correct.
And
yeah.
Like I was like, what? They gonna call that? Okay, that's the kind of game we're gonna have. Yeah. I again, I'm just kind of at a loss. And, I agree with Keontae. Yeah, the Tut mishap was just, I mean, again, it took away
what little momentum we had built up.
Yeah, well, it took away a chance for an offensive possession.
Correct.
Right,
and it flipped
that
the field.
desperately needed, right, to keep the defense off the field. So you got the 3 and out, and then you put the defense right back on the field. And I started to get concerned. I'm like, man, this is a lot of snaps for the defense in one quarter. And I mean, it's just, again, I put a lot of this on. They don't look prepared.
No, at all, which is crazy. They've spent all this time talking about how this is a business trip and we're taking them seriously. They don't look like they're fired. Like you thought early, okay, yeah, they really came to play. They got the early interception. Minnesota literally gave us 10 points, right? Like the early interception was a bad read by the quarterback, and Davis stepped right in front of the slant. And then the touchdown return was just terrible kick coverage, and they were just like, well, we're just not going to kick it to him again. After that, they've decided that they wanted to come and play big boy football, and we decided we didn't want to.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I mean, I'm not really down on our defense that much. I'm really not down on our defense that much, because considering how much they've been on the field, it could have been a lot worse.
The defense is, I mean, so they're doing this whole bend but don't break thing that they typically do, which is like let them methodically drive the ball down the field. But what I hate about it is that the offense is not doing them any favors by making sure that they're rewarding them for, forcing them into a field goal. Tut with the muffed punt. We're doing our best job to say, hey, defense, you're doing a great job. Get back out there and do it again. As opposed to saying, hey, defense, you're doing a great job. We're going to reward you with some time on the sideline so you can get some rest and continue to do a great job. So I don't understand really why we're being pushed around like this on both sides. Like, I knew our offensive line was abysmal, and I said this before the game. The key to this was going to be whether or not we could run the ball, and we're not close to 150 rushing yards this game.
Yeah.
There's literally, unless there's an explosion in the second half, there's no chance we rush for 100. They're not even committed to the run, though. Like, there's literally no commitment to the run.
But you didn't have your best running back in for a whole quarter.
Yeah, at all.
So there was, you're right. There was no commitment to the run because you had your best running back on the field for a quarter. Like, again, like I think Gus is gonna have to answer a question like, "Yo, was Whitlow in the doghouse? Like,
Is he hurt? What's going? Because he's
yeah,
literally
what's
not
happening?
touching the ball.
Yeah, what's happening? What are we watching? Like,
Yeah,
because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for him to just not be on the field for the whole first quarter. Meanwhile, they're dominating time of possession, and you force Knicks into a position where he's going to have to, for us to win this game, he's going to have to throw the ball another 25 times in the second half, and that's going to bring him pretty close to 40 throws in this game. And
right.
I've said it all season, he has to throw the ball more than 25 to 30 times. I hate our chances. So, he's not, I mean, he's not for 13 for 105 yards. And surprisingly, I mean, you think about it, that's 13 throws in a whole half where we've only got
20.
nine total carries.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are 9 carries in this game versus 13 throws.
And some of those, you got to remember, some of those rushes are by Bo Nix, right? So he's run the ball a couple of times.
Yeah, he's got two rushes for -3 yards.
So, which, I mean, he's gotten some positive rushing yards as well. He's just gotten sacked a couple of times. But what I'm saying is, like, he's run the ball. You've seen Sean Shivers a couple of times on a speed. Like, we're not actually running the football with running backs. I think DJ Williams has 2 carries?
2 carries.
Bobby Whitlow has 1. And then
Cam Martin has 1.
Cam Martin has 1.
Yeah, Harold Joyner has 1.
Okay, so like we're just deciding we're not going to give the ball to running backs on actual running plays.
Right. Listen, man, this should be the Whitlow and Williams show. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand. The question, to Brian's question about how our D-line is getting bullied, is that they're on the field the entire first half.
Period. And they're what they're deciding they were going to do, and they pointed it out in the commentary, is that they're going to run away from the side, whichever side whichever side Marlon Davidson lines up on, they're going to run away from that side, and they're going to double team Derek Brown. So they're going to make sure those 2 guys don't hurt you. Everybody else has to make a play. But you know what that means? Linebackers should have free runs at running backs. And because they're playing, because of the way that the RPO stuff is set up, the running backs are being hesitant. The linebackers are being hesitant. They're bad in their run fits. They're not knowing which gap they're supposed to be controlling. And when Derek Brown's getting double teamed, the linebackers are 2 gapping off of that, right? They're not deciding, okay, well, this is my gap, I'm going to hit it strong. They're 2 gapping on the backside of that double team, and the running back is just playing really well off of that 2 gap. He's setting up his block really well, gets a linebacker to one side, cuts to the other side. So it's real. I'm going to give a lot of credit here to Minnesota for playing a very physical game and making our defense earn it and not just giving it away like they did on that first drive. But I need our offensive line to do something this half. I need them to do something because Bo Nix is running for his life. We have no run game. We're going to get beat in this game if that continues. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a path to victory where you are going to run the ball. I mean, like, again, even if you double our yardage, that's only 220 yards of total offense, right? So, like, they can't have an offensive performance like that in the second half unless the defenses and special teams are going to score. I think that I disagree. I don't think that's a strategy, Brian. I think
that's a terrible strategy if that's what they want to do.
Yeah. I think there's something going on. Like, there was definitely some disciplinary issue.
I agree, Brian. We are getting dominated.
Yeah. We were getting dominated, but I think our offensive coaches are getting dominated.
Yeah, the game plan's terrible. Yeah, like I was baffled in the first drive. Like, we got the ball on the 12-yard line. We picked up like 4 yards. Like, how? Right. How does that happen? Like, you literally had the opportunity to come in and deal a very huge blow to them morally, to say, man, they came out there, they made a mistake, we made them pay for it, and they didn't do it.
Right. They get the ball back at the half.
No, we get the ball first in the half.
Right.
Because they had the ball first.
Say what?
They had the ball first.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We get the ball back at the half. right? So like I don't like they don't have a chance to come out and drop the ball down the field, and I just expect to see some sort of offensive flow.
Something. I just want, you know what? I'd take a long drive ending in a field goal here, as long as I can see some sustained drive here and some sort of run game, which tells me the offensive line woke up. They decided they're going to play a little bit more power, a little less, of this zone blocking scheme. So I
Right.
don't know. We'll see.
I'm not so worried about. The only thing I'm worried about the defense, because Steele has been very, skilled at making adjustments at halftime and coming out with a good game plan, like in-game adjustments. So I'm not super concerned there. My only just concern now is just, are they going to have enough gas left in the tank
Correct.
based on how this offense is going to play? Because they can't get dominated, in terms of time of possession. Mike is saying typical Gus offense after a big win. Yeah, back to mediocrity. Yep, exactly. We stated, Mike, if you didn't see in the pregame, that what we were looking for in this game was just to see them take some steps forward based on what they built over the last, couple games of the regular season.
Yeah.
Is Bo Nix going to step forward? But like again, I really can't point at any of the players because the opportunities have been so limited based on play calling. I mean, credit. I guess. I mean, you're giving more credit to Minnesota's defense than I'm giving them. Like,
Their defensive line is dominating us. I'm giving them a lot of credit
yeah,
on that.
yeah,
I mean, I don't.
yeah,
I do think the play calling is bad, but I also think that, like, the even if it's not a great play call, it has no success factor if you're not blocking anybody. Like,
yeah.
you
But
just
where are the plays to get the ball out of Bo's hands quickly? We haven't seen one slant, right? We haven't seen one quick out. We haven't seen one 3-step drop and let go of the ball that can
well.
be
So
used a lot
those
of
couple
times.
of throws to Schwartz have been quick passes. But again, the problem with most of those have been they're things where he has to stop his momentum to catch it and then build it back up, as opposed to utilizing his speed to get him in motion while the ball is in the air. Um, I don't like the strategy, man. I just don't like how they're deploying assets to be effective in this game. And our blocking is abysmal. Our blocking is literally the worst I've seen the entire season.
Right.
I can't point to a play where I was like, man, that was blocked well. Like, everything that we've gotten that's been positive on the offensive side of the ball has been scrambles by Bo Nix, or it's been just athleticism on the outside by Anthony Schwartz or something like that. Like, it hasn't been a well blocked play and well executed play. So I don't even know if the play calling is all that bad. I know the blocking is terrible. It's been awful the whole game.
Well, in the second half, like I said, I mean, we've got 7 offensive points in this game. I mean, 10 offensive points in this game. One offensive
and
touchdown.
three of those got gifted to us on a pick. Like, we didn't do anything after the pick. So, like,
yeah, I'm not sure I'll believe in the uniform omen. But it's there was a comment before that one. I think it was from
it's about Schwartz needing to run slants.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, hit him on a slant. Get the ball out of Bo's hands if we can't block. Throw some screens in there. Let them over pursue and throw some screens.
So we've thrown a couple of screens. It's just, again, they're not blocked well.
Not to the running backs though. Not to the running backs.
Yeah, they've been wide
receiver screens. Yeah, like give him some easy dump offs when they over pursue. Like, I mean. But again, your best running back for that wasn't on the field for the whole first quarter, right? So I don't know. We're coming out of halftime here. I'm going to. I got the. I think what did we get? One Wildcat play. We got one Wildcat play.
It was only one Wildcat play, and they didn't actually run the ball with it. So it was. So they lined up in Wildcat twice. One of them we motioned back out of that into a punt. And the second one, we did the double reverse, which was a terrible play.
Yeah, right. So haven't been hitting the old AU flask a whole lot in this first half, but I think I'm just gonna be hitting it in general, not lose my sanity. So Anyway, yeah, let's get back to this second half and see you guys in the post game.
All right, Twitter and Instagram right there. As always, click like and subscribe. We'll see you guys, and hopefully as a good outcome at the end here. War Eagle.
War Eagle.